Here in this building inside the Vatican Gardens is where the Vatican radio station was born. It was the brainchild of Achille Ratti, known to the world as Pope Pius XI. The Pope's keen interest in scientific discoveries led him to recognize radio as the perfect means through which to communicate the Word of God to the world. 1929 saw the signing of the Lateran Pacts, a series of agreements between Italy and the Holy See that included the creation of Vatican City-State. That was when Pius XI decided to call the inventor of radio himself, Guglielmo Marconi, to design and set up what would become known as the Pope's radio. Father Giuseppe Gianfranceschi, a Jesuit priest and highly respected scientist, was appointed as the radio's first Director General.
I segnali sono molto buoni, potete pure mettere la scrivente.
On completion, the Vatican radio was widely admired as one of the most technically avant-garde and state-of-the-art radio stations in the world. At 10 minutes to 5 on the afternoon of February 12, 1931, Pope Pius XI arrived at the radio station inside Vatican City. This rare footage was filmed by a Paramount news team that had been sent over especially from the United States to cover the event. It was left to Guglielmo Marconi to introduce the first ever radio message by a pope to the world.
Ho l'altissimo onore di annunziare che fra pochi istanti.
I am greatly honored to announce that in a few moments the Supreme Pontiff, Pius XI, will inaugurate the radio station of Vatican City-State. Electric waves will carry his words of peace and blessing through space to the whole world. With the help of God, who puts so many mysterious forces of nature at the disposal of humanity, I have been able to set up this instrument that will allow the faithful throughout the world to have the consolation of hearing the words of the Holy Father.
Qui comincia con una qualche soddisfazione di quel desiderio che poc'anzi le esprimevamo.
At this point, the request we made earlier begins to find a satisfactory response. We ask you to give us some explanation, some experience or experiment regarding how and with what scientific traps you channel the path of these waves that no one sees, no one hears, no one feels or touches.
Sorprenda il cammino di queste onde che nessuno vede, nessuno ode, nessuno sente e palpa. Qui veramente.
At this point, quite honestly, all we have to do is look around, even with inexpert eyes, in order to realize what immense forces are at work around us.
Per accorgerci che grandi forze si agitano intorno a noi.
The first transmission station built by Marconi is still in use. Today it houses medium and short-wave transmitters that serve Europe and the Rome area. A specialized workshop ensures that this historical apparatus is kept in good working order. The same building houses a small museum. Here, the history of Vatican radio can be traced through photographs, documents, and rare recording instruments, some of which have been painstakingly restored. Objects that were once used to measure, record, and reproduce sound. Microphones like this one, the most famous of all, the microphone used by Pope Pius XI for his first radio message. The so-called Palazzina may be the first and the historical headquarters of the radio inside Vatican City, but it isn't the only one. High on top of the Vatican Hill stands a building that bears the name of Pope Leo XIII. It was built at the end of the 19th century as the Pope's summer residence and includes the tower of Pope Nicholas IV, dating back to the 15th century. In 1937, it became Vatican Radio's